right, we welcome the Cal Bears, head coach Charmin Smith, Jayda Curry, and Mia Mastrov. Coach will let you open, and then we'll take questions.
Okay. Obviously, disappointed with the outcome. I thought we had a solid game plan, started off well, and then just struggled through the third and fourth quarter. Washington State's a good team, so it just unfortunately wasn't meant to be for us today.
Right here.
For Charmin or the players, any of you, what do you kind of attribute that second half fall off to, in particular? Did anything stand out?
Y'all looking at me. I just thought we had moments where we had a good play, we had a good look, and didn't execute it, And then on the other end, Charlize was making plays. We tried to do some different things to try to stop her, tried different people on her, but they went from shooting, 20-something% in the first half to 72% in the third quarter. I think a lot of that was her and Bella, and, it was just tough for us to figure out how to slow them down, and we weren't, taking advantage of our opportunities on the other end. I think Leilani, I don't know, I kept looking for her. I don't know how long she was out, but that's a struggle for us as well. It makes it harder to free Jayda up at times. So that stretch was a little painful.
Charmin, one of the bright spots today was Mia, who came in that first half and scored 8 points and ended up with 10 points. Your bench really brought a lift for you guys today. Just talk about her performance and, where this came from, because she hasn't had many big games like this, but in a game like this, for her to step up, especially in that first half, when you guys were able to find some rhythm, for her to have such a great start for you guys.
Yeah, I think, Mia's a competitor, and she works extremely hard. And the funny thing is, I put her in thinking more defense, right? She's someone that is really good defensively, and wanted her to have some time on Charlize and such. But she's also a weapon for us and a threat offensively. And, she took advantage of the way that they were guarding her and those baseline drives, and she finished at the basket. So it was great to see her get those looks and be able to finish and convert.
Right here in the front.
Jayda, you played the entire game tonight. How are you able to pace yourself so you're able to give your 100% on each and every play?
I can't say that I try to pace myself, because I think this year I did get a lot more breaks. So I'm just expecting okay, at some point I'm gonna come out. But I think at the end of the day we're just playing to win. So whether I'm in there for 20 minutes, 30, 40 minutes, just playing hard and catching my breath on dead ball possessions and stuff like that on free throws, just taking a second, drinking water while I'm in the game, stuff like that. But yeah, you gotta expect to stay in the whole time. So.
Go in the back here first.
In the first matchup with the Cougars, you were held scoreless. In this one, you finished with 10 points and 5 rebounds. Could you talk about how you were able to impact this game?
Yeah, I want to say credit to my teammates for sure. They were able to get me open and spacing the floor. They were rotating and giving me open looks and drives to the basket. And then, I'm just trying to do what I can to help win, So if that be crashing for extra rebounds or just trying to get some boards and help out, I'm just doing what I can to help.
Go ahead.
Charmin, outside of Jayda, your other 4 starters really struggled to score. When they're struggling like that, you got a good production from your bench, but how hard is it for you guys when, again, you really had a good first half, just struggling when the rest of those starters can't score, to try to put offense together when, you rely on Jayda so much, you need somebody else. But when those guys really struggle, how difficult does it make it?
Yeah, I think that's been, one of our strengths this year, is that we've had multiple weapons, particularly in our starting lineup. So to not have that today, it did make it harder. It's a lot easier when you have more people scoring. But, they're a really good defensive team, and we the way that we like to attack in our offense, like we use ball screens a lot. They're really good defensively out of ball screen coverage and such. So, I think at this time of the year, a lot of it is about matchups. And, defensively, they did a good job. And, we didn't knock down shots, 1 for 7, 1 for 8, 1 for 6. That's tough.
Go ahead.
I know this literally just happened, but Charmin, when you think about how you're going to reflect on this season, what do you think your main takeaway is going to be, like, when you think about this season as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, what I think today is going to be different than what I think in April, but I just want it more for this group, we work so hard. We do. We work so hard, and they're great young women, and I want them to be the ones that are happy, jumping up and down, celebrating. But a good friend of mine, Angela Taylor, she told me, you can't skip steps in building it, and I share that with the team. It's like, this is our journey, this is our process. We can't skip the steps and even the painful ones, So I love this group. I really love coaching this team, and I know that we're making steps. I've said, like, this team that we have right now would murder last year's team, right? We're so much better. And next year we'll be even better, and just keep building it and stay with the process here.
We'll take one or two more questions here and then here.
For Jayda and Mia, how would you two summarize this season, and what will you take moving forward into next season?
I mean, I'd say overall just a lot of ups and downs. We were there for each other through everything, the losses, the wins. I think that we can take a lot going forward. We had some great people come in, like Peanut, who just provided a lot to this group overall, and we can take a lot from her and keep learning and growing. And I think, like Charmin said, we're just going to keep getting better and better. And next year's a new year, and we'll just be as better than we were this year, like she said.
I think for me, just reflecting on like the relationships that we built, I think as a team off the court was probably my favorite part of this whole season. Obviously, trying to figure things out with a new group, with new pieces, was kind of just a part of the process, and like Mia said, ups and downs throughout the season. But I do appreciate the group that we had this year, and I think that both on and off the court we had just great relationships with each other, and we're able to laugh and have fun, and I think I can appreciate that during times where we're not winning every game and where we need to still be loose and not always like mad at each other because we're losing. I think we stayed together well this year. So,
Charmin, I wanted to ask you a little more about Charlize. We saw what Rogers did at the end of the Oregon game, what Charlize did today and has done on other occasions. When you have a player like that that's almost a pro-ready type player, how much does that really make a difference when you get into a situation like this in the second half?
Almost a pro-ready type player. I mean, we threw different things at her. We tried to box in one. We went some zone. We put big people on her, little people on her. She's a tough matchup. But I think it would have been okay if we were able to do some of the things that we needed to do offensively, right? Like our goal was to keep them under 60 points, right? They scored 61. The problem is we scored 49. So, I mean, Charlize having 23, like, okay, that's what she does, but I think the problem in this game was us not scoring enough points, right? I've seen games where Charlize, I think in Washington, did she possibly have 40 and they still lost the game? And that's no disrespect to Charlize. I think she's a phenomenal player, one of the best in our conference, one of the best in the country. But it takes a team, and their team played better than our team today.
Any final questions? All right, we'll wrap there. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Is this for the student athletes?